Hello everyone and welcome to Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the SEGA Mega Drive. I am One Wild Sheep and this is my favourite game ever made. This is the favourite game in the Sonic franchise and my favourite game of all time. Now to start things off, one of the new additions in this game is actually an options menu that allows us to select a character and do a sound test. We can either play as Sonic and Tails, which is a new character introduced into this game, which you're not seeing right now. Actually, I'll lob up an image on the screen because of reasons. I'll explain the reasons as time goes on. There are reasons why I'm not using Sonic and Tails. You can play as Sonic alone or Tails alone, which play both exactly the same. And for the most part, this game is similar to the first game. You still have to run around green fields. You have to collect all the rings in the environment, just like in the original Sonic the Hedgehog. And like I said, the options menu also sports a sound test. So if you go into the sound test, you can listen to the game's music, including music from levels that actually didn't make it into the game, like Hidden Palace Zone for example. Again, something I'll get into as time goes on. So yeah, like I said, favourite Sonic game. My favourite, it's just, this game is so good. It is so good. It is fantastically made. It takes everything that was good about the original Sonic game and tenfold it, increases it by tenfold. And what we're about to see is a new mechanic. Now, in Sonic the Hedgehog 1, we used to be able to get special stages which gave us Chaos Emeralds. And the Chaos Emeralds were basically a couple of collectibles that you could use to progress further in the game. You could use them to get further through the game, use them as like a MacGuffin for the good end in the game. Now, in this one, what they do is they have a special property to them, and to get to these special stages, which are completely new, we have to actually get 50 rings and go to a checkpoint, which is the giant goalpost thing that I just jumped into. And then these checkpoints will allow you into one of these special zones. Now these special stones? These special zones are actually very well made in that they're different, they're unique, and they're extremely fun. The way these things work is basically you need to go across these tubes, these half pipes, and collect as many rings as possible. And you have 3 segments to every special stage you have to go through, each with their own number of rings. So as you see here, it just said get 130 rings, so I need to collect as many as I can and watch out for the bombs that are coming at you. If you hit the bombs, you lose 10 rings, I believe, depending. And these are actually the reason why I didn't choose to play as Tails. Because if you play as Tails, well, play as Sonic and Tails in the special stage, then the game will act like it's in a 2-player mode. Like it's in a co-op mode, if you will. So you'll have to collect more rings in order to get hold of the Chaos Emerald at the end of the stage. Which means, chances are you're not going to succeed against 7 emeralds if you play with Sonic and Tails and you don't have a teammate to back you up. But anyway, there's the first Chaos Emerald of the game, and much like in Sonic the Hedgehog 1, you don't need to get the emeralds to see the entire game. The Chaos Emeralds are an optional collectible that I'm really only getting just to show off one of the new features you can actually pick up, specific to pretty much every 2D Sonic game from this point, except for the Master System ones. I'm not going to spoil what exactly the reward is, but trust me, it's something beautiful, and that enemy should not have hit me there. But of course, like I said, the checkpoints, if you hit them, get 50 rings, you go through them. And one thing I love about this game is actually the instruction book, because in the instruction book, bear in mind this is before Robotnik was renamed Eggman. Basically, in the instruction book, if you ever have they basically have a little excuse as to why the game has glitches, because this game, if you run too fast, glitches are going to happen, and that's a fact. It happens to me in this playthrough because I move too fast. And basically what it says in the instruction book is basically, Dr. Robotnik has laid out traps for Sonic. If anything doesn't seem like it's meant to be there, that's why. And for some reason that last ring gave me 2 rings. I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, like I said, we're going to be in this zone for quite a while, because I'm going to get as many emeralds as I can. And I'm not going to lie folks, I did all these on this playthrough in my first try, every single Chaos Emerald stage. And you do not believe how difficult that is. You really do not, unless you played the game, because basically you need to either know the placements of the rings like the back of your hand, or you just You need to be lucky to get a Chaos Emerald. That's how hard it gets. As you can tell, the Chaos Emerald difficulties will increase for every stage you go into. For example, Special Stage 1, easy, 2 is easy, 3 is easy, 4 is the one I normally have the most trouble with, and it just sort of ramps up in difficulty from that point. So be careful, just go through the special stages and don't expect to do them all your first try. A lot of people I know of actually do these with save states, which, believe it or not folks, I didn't use save states for this, because I was playing this off the Mega Drive. This footage is directly off my console. I can't use save states. I would love to use them. Actually, no, I wouldn't, because I don't like using stuff like that for my LPs. It ruins the experience, unless it's built into the game for a specific reason. But I digress. Let's just continue moving onwards, avoiding all these bombs. And whenever you, be careful in this particular special stage, because if you look at the ceiling, chances are there's sometimes going to be a couple of rings in the ceiling, and what you want to do is actually move to the left or right enough so you'll actually use your momentum and boost all the way up. And when you're on the ceiling, you can actually somehow jump off it, even though it looks like there's nothing there, which really confuses me, but you can jump off it as well, which will get you into the middle of the stage much quicker. And it's kind of the main thing you're going to see with a lot of the later Chaos Emeralds, where there's rings on the ceilings, they're on the roofs, they're freaking everywhere. You need to go nuts to get them, and it's kind of stressful, to be honest. But I believe this is pretty much it for this act, so now we're going to move into Act 2. And I haven't even covered the new ability added in this game yet. One of the major complaints I had about Sonic the Hedgehog 1 was your flow is broken too easy, and you can't really... It's really hard to compensate for it. Like, it'll take a long time to gain your momentum back, so if you make one mistake, you're not getting your momentum back. You're going to stay at that speed for a little bit of a while. And what Sonic the Hedgehog 2 does to combat this is it still keeps the whole speed as a reward mechanic by making it so the levels are hard and you have to, well, they're not really hard, but the level challenges you by trying to stop you in your place, and you still need to try and move as fast as you can to get and dodge all the objects in the environment to gain as much momentum as possible. But what this game's added is the spin dash, which if you hold down and push the jump button, which on the Mega Drive controller is either A, B or C, you can actually rev up into a ball, and this will actually increase the total speed that you can actually progress. And it is so useful an ability to have. It's unbelievable how much use the spin dash gets, even in later games in the series. And I actually prefer it to the boost in the later games because, I don't know, I always prefer the spin dash to the boost. Maybe because it actually makes sense, because the boost when you burst through enemies is like you're face palming them with your face, as opposed to face palming them with your feet. But it's like you're just ramming into them head first and they just die, and you'd think that'd be painful, wouldn't you? No, apparently it isn't. But the reason I like the spin dash is it makes sense, because you're in a ball, you're spinning, you're doing your attack while you're moving. That's why enemies will die as you go through them. And it's a bit more limited in that you have less control over your body as well, which I like. So yeah, I've always been more of a spin dash person as opposed to a boost person. But anyway, this special stage, not much different. You need to watch out for all the bombs. As you can see, as time goes on, these bombs are becoming much more apparent and much easier to get hit by. So what you want to do is basically see them, jump over them, and move out the way. When their balls are moving around the screen like that, you basically jump over them. It's the only way I can think about effectively dodging them. But that's pretty much all I can say about this. The special stages do run up. There's not much you can really say about them after a certain point, because you just collect rings. That's all there is to it. But one thing I do want to address is all the power-ups in this game are pretty much the same from the power-ups in the original game. There's nothing new really been added. All the power-ups exist. They existed in the first game, exist in this one. So you still have your shields, you still have your boost speeds, and you still have your I almost want to say shields again. You still have your invincibility and extra lives and such like that. So there's not really much new in terms of items to collect, apart from one Chaos Emerald and the new spin dash ability that you got. But the levels themselves, oh, they are much better. Like, each of the levels in the original game had 3 acts. In this game, there's more different level themes, but they've been split up into 2 acts. Now what does this mean? That means you pretty much get the same amount of content. I think there's a bit more levels in this game as opposed to Sonic 1, don't quote me. Because I don't actually know, I can't be bothered to do the math, I never have bothered to do the math. But basically, it means you got more variety with every level. It feels like you're making more progress as you go on, because obviously you're running through and suddenly you're in a green place, now you're underwater, now you're in a metal chemical plant. And I don't know, I just really like the fact that they reduce the act number down and increase the zone numbers up. I don't know why most LPs I see don't really seem to acknowledge that. They're just like, oh yeah, cool, we're cool. So yeah, this is the 4th Chaos Emerald stage, and don't worry, I don't get all 7 emeralds in this in this zone. I do start to slow down a little bit after I realize I'm destroying the special stages, which I still can't believe that I get in one go on this playthrough. I really can't. But basically, for the special stage, this is where the difficulty's starting to ramp up. This is where the game's going to start going, okay, baby shoes off, it's time to do your own things, get your adult shoes, tie your shoelaces, blah blah blah. You're in the big leagues now, boy, and it shows because the difficulty just spikes. It's suddenly no longer an easy, oh cool, I got a glowing gem. No, it's, oh no, I gotta get that glowing gem. And trust me, doing this when you're a kid, oh no. It is so difficult. So very, very difficult to do. Because when you're a child, when you're first playing this game, you don't know the levels that well. And when you don't know the levels that well, they become exceptionally difficult to do. So over the years, I've actually gone a lot better than these than I used to be. So if you're bad at the special stages, don't fret. Everyone I know was bad at the special stages at one point. Just play them enough and you'll start to learn the layouts and you start getting good. Because the way that there's not a big enough draw distance on any of the rings or objects that come at you. So basically it's very easy to get hit by a bomb because you don't know where it's going to spawn. You don't know where it's going to pop in and just boop you. So what you want to do is basically play the game multiple times. It's the only bit of advice I can give to get better at these. And also, for those of you who haven't played this game, you'll find as well, if you're playing these on these special stages, there's a little bit of a control input lag. There's like a 2-second delay from when you push the button and you move. So what that means is you got really small draw distance and a gigantic lag from when you want to move. Put these two together and it makes it not fun. It really makes them difficult. So when I was younger, I used to actively avoid the special zones. I used to try and keep away from them as much as possible. And it is so lucky I didn't get killed there. I'm proud to announce I don't die by anything of my own stupidity in this LP. I think I do die, but it's because the game glitched out. Like I said, this game had some glitches. At least I think I said that. Yeah, I think I did. This game has some glitches because of how fast you go, so don't be surprised to find a glitch or two. But anyway, the end of the level is pinned right at the end, and at the end of every Act 2, you'll fight a boss. Now, why am I going backwards? Well, I want to get 50 rings to have another shot at Chaos Emerald just before the boss fight, because just before we fight the first boss of the game, there's, as you would guess, another special zone gold ring. So just boop that before we find the boss and jump into the swirly vortex of doom. And like I said, when I was a kid, actually I don't know if I said it, yeah, when I was a kid I never did these. The first time seeing the reward that you get for all 7 emeralds, I'm still not going to say until I actually get it. I didn't see the reward up until Sonic 3, which the same reward applies. But anyway, this special stage actually actively tries to mess with you. Because you got all the rings, and now they're going to really actively go on the sides of the walls and on the top of the walls. Like, they did it beforehand in one of the earlier special zones, but they were really nothing big to deal with. In this one, they go all the way. They make sure, okay, you better keep your eyes open, eyes peeled, son. But to explain the zone that we're in, because yeah, 15 minutes into a video and I still haven't explained the first zone of the game, go me. The first zone is Emerald Hill Zone. And just like you'll find in nearly every Sonic game, it's a standard everyday green level. It's a simple stage, very easy, and it can be beaten in about a minute. To be honest, you can beat the entire zone in about a minute. Why is it taking me 15 minutes? That's how much game time the Chaos Emeralds give you, folks. And like I said, I'm not getting them all in this zone. This is the last special stage. You're going to see for about 1 or 2 parts. Hopefully 2, because I'm sick of seeing this tube myself. But again, just be careful. This is where the special stage actually gets a bit difficult, so there we are. And the first boss of this game is actually what I consider to be the stupidest boss fight in the entire series. And I'll explain a bit more when we get into it, because the boss is actually... I don't know, it won't take long to explain the boss fight, let's just put it like that. There's the Chaos Emerald, very simple, very easy to get. So, we got 2 more emeralds left to get. And the very final Chaos Emerald, a lot of people have no trouble with. I have a lot of issues with the last one. I'll explain why when we get to it. But anyway, let's go take on the first Eggman Robotnik mobile machine of the game. Meet, folks, the pathetic mobile. Now this machine basically moves left and right. Ingenious, isn't it? So what you want to do is actually, just like in Sonic 1, hit him 8 times by jumping on him, spinning into him, whatever, and he'll go down pathetically. He's a really easy boss fight. Whenever you get him down to 7 hits, he'll try and shoot the giant cone on the front off at you. But it goes so slowly, you just jump over it and boop him, he dies. Easy boss fight, which is good because it's the first level. If it gave us the hardest boss in the first level, then I think everyone would turn the game off. But there's that. So thank you guys for watching, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people, and I'll catch you all in part 2 where we take on the next zone of the game. Thank God. Thanks for watching, people. See you after. Bye!